Hey guys, welcome back to Holistic Homesteading with the Hursts. I'm Megan. Today I want to talk to you about natural medicine with kids. So I am no expert. Please do not take this as medical advice. This is just a mom who has done a lot of research and has had sick kids often enough to know what works and what helps with my family. So I did a question box on my Instagram stories and I did get a few questions. They were very similar. It's the time of year, January, when our kids get colds, they get coughs, runny noses, and things like that. So I figured this was a really good time to do this video to help some of you mamas out if you're trying to live a more natural, holistic lifestyle, and also to implement that into your kids' lives. I'm just going to go down my list of common ailments that most of our kids go through. I don't know everything, but these are ones that my kids have been through, and this is the stuff that has helped them get through it. So hopefully this helps you when you're navigating your child's health as well. All right, so I have my list of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I will just kind of categorize these. I hope to have a blog post out for you guys too to accompany this. So if you are more of a reader, I will have that for you with the things linked as well that you could possibly buy. So if you are unsure of what that might be. So for coughs, runny nose, and sore throat without a fever, we use raw local honey. Now this honey needs to be local to you. The closer to your living space that you can get, the better the honey is going to do. What honey does is it introduces these allergies that may be causing the runny nose or the cough or the sore throat, and it introduces them to your body in small amounts so that your body can learn to kind of have like an immune blocking, almost like a natural vaccine. Am I allowed to say that word on here? So we use raw local honey. If they are under the age of 1, you're not supposed to use honey with a baby. Sometimes maple syrup can help to soothe their cough if they're a baby. And I would say with that, 6 months and older. 6 months and younger, probably talk to your doctor about anything orally. We also do colloidal silver. We will spray it up in the nose. Colloidal silver is a natural antibiotic, antiviral, and antibacterial. So you can squirt that up into your nose or your child's nose, and then also you can take colloidal silver orally. Colloidal silver can be done on a maintenance level. We don't tend to do that. We just tend to use it when our kids are sick or when we ourselves are sick because it's pretty pricey, just being honest. So we use it for emergency cases only. We do 3 teaspoons a day when they are sick until they get better. We also use homeopathic medicines. There are tons of homeopathic medicines out there that can fit more of your symptoms. So I would just research homeopathic medicine for kids if you are looking into going that route. We've had some really good success with homeopathic medicines in our kids. I think kids tend to take on that medicine and utilize it better than even adults do. So we do see a huge difference in our kids when we do use homeopathic medicines. I think Boron, I think is how you say that, is a really good company for homeopathic, as well as Highlands. Highlands has a really good homeopathic medicine. And I think Highlands even does as young as 2 months for certain things. So those are really good homeopathic companies that we use. Also, some things that we do when they have a runny nose, a cough, or sore throat. Most of the time, the runny nose is what leads to the cough and the sore throat. It's just running back into their throat and causing them to cough, and just sitting there and causing a sore throat. So we elevate their bed at night. Easiest way to do this is to roll up some blankets or towels and put it underneath their mattress so that it elevates their bed. If you can get up to a 20 to 30 degree angle on that, it's going to be the best because it's going to allow things to drain the right way instead of back into their throat. You can also use a humidifier in their room. The dryness, especially in the winter, can cause issues with coughs and stuff like that. So using a humidifier close to their bed, you want to make sure that it's cool mist humidifier is a great way to do that. Also, before they go to bed, you can use a chest rub. This can be done throughout the day as well. We have found that a chest rub with eucalyptus oil in it, and then if it doesn't have frankincense in it, using frankincense as well. Frankincense is great for the respiratory system, so you can rub it directly onto their chest. Some people like to dilute it. We've never diluted, not frankincense, but we'll just take a drop and just rub it on their chest. Sometimes I will do what the Bible says and anoint their head with oil. We use frankincense, and then just allowing them to smell the eucalyptus and frankincense as well can help. Essential oils are great. I am not super well versed in essential oils. I know the staples that kind of help sometimes, so you can get with your local essential oil sales rep or do your own research with that to aid in your healing of your child. Last but not least, and this is very, very important, is to make sure that they are drinking enough fluids. That's going to help flush out all of that. Mostly not sugary stuff and not milk. Water is really good. And then we do bone broth for our kids. They love it. You could do a mineral supplement as well as an electrolyte drink. We have, I'll try to show what we have with the electrolytes, but I definitely wouldn't recommend, honestly, Pedialyte or Gatorade if you're trying to go natural. Those have dyes in them and sugars, and it's just not it's not a natural product. All right, moving along. So what happens if your child gets a fever? For our children, we do not use any kind of fever reducer. We do not use Tylenol. Tylenol depletes glutathione. Glutathione is your main detoxifier in the body. So that is what's going to help your body to be able to fight off things and get rid of toxins. And Tylenol is depleting that. And that's just a huge, I don't know, for me, that's a big thing. I have the MTHFR mutated gene. I don't know if I've passed it on to my children or not. And so for me personally, I have to do everything that I can possibly do to detoxify. And if I am giving them something that they can't detox, like Tylenol, it's just a scary thing for me. So we do not do Tylenol. So what do? We use ice socks. So what you do is you get a pair of their socks, you wet it down, wring it out, throw them in the freezer for maybe 5 minutes until they're nice and cold. Put those on their feet and then put a nice warm pair of socks on top of that, and usually that helps break their fever. We also do Epsom salt baths as well as vinegar baths, at least a cup of Epsom salt in their bath, and then we will do up to a gallon of vinegar in their bath depending on how sick they are. If it's pretty bad, then we'll do the whole gallon. They come out smelling like a ketchup bottle, but usually that helps to get them healed a lot faster. Epsom salt and vinegar are detoxifying, so it's just gonna pull out all of that extra stuff. We also do skin to skin. I know they talk about that a lot when they are newborns and babies, but it works with your younger kids as well. So I will take off my shirt and lay them with their shirt off on top of me. My body heat will help regulate theirs. It kind of brings down their temperature a little bit. We use homeopathic medicine again. We make sure they have lots of fluids. You can do peppermint oil on the bottoms of their feet to help break a fever. But really, we're not really trying to take the fever down too bad, because a fever is the body's way of fighting whatever's going on in the body. So as long as it doesn't get above 104, I'm not too concerned about it unless it's lasting more than, a couple of days. If for some reason we can't break the fever at home, we use our local chiropractor. And I'm telling you guys, I will swear by this until I die. Every time that I have had a fever, or one of my children have had a fever that we can't get rid of, we will go to our local chiropractor who deals with holistic medicine, homeopathic medicine, but really all she ever does is adjusts us. Adjustments can help boost the immune system, I think by like 200%. But within an hour after being adjusted, even my kids, their fever breaks and they are starting to, it seems like they hit the peak and then they come back down and they are getting better a lot faster. I've experienced it myself as well with the flu, and it's crazy how fast it helps. Okay, moving on to another one that is common are earaches or ear infections. I may not have this completely right, but with kids, they tend to get earaches and ear infections a lot more frequently than adults just because of the tubes in their ears that aren't fully developed yet. So they don't line up very well, and it can easily fill up with fluid, cause pressure, and also cause infections. One of the things that we do when or if they have an ear infection is we eliminate dairy and eggs. So dairy and eggs can carry live viruses in them. In a normal daily setting, I don't think that that's a big deal because the body it's kind of like the honey where they're taking little doses of it and their body is becoming immune to these viruses. But when you're already dealing with a virus, to add on something else is a little bit harder. We eliminate that until they're completely better. We will do warm olive oil drops inside their ear, and just kind of like you would do with eardrops, and just put the cotton ball in there. We will do garlic oil. Garlic is great for infections, so if you feel like that it's infected, you can do garlic oil diluted into the warm olive oil and just put a couple of drops in their ear, put the cotton ball in there and let that soothe it. Another one is a heat pack. So just placing a heat pack on there. If it's swimmer's ear and not an ear infection, you can get an ear infection from swimmer's ear, but if they've been swimming a lot and they're having an earache, you can blow dry their ear, like just right next to it, and it helps evaporate some of that moisture, and it will also give them some relief. As well as using chiropractic care. Our children have never had to be on antibiotics for earaches because if some of these things didn't work, we would go to our chiropractor, she would do the adjustment, and it was quick and they were over it very quickly. So I would definitely recommend chiropractic care. What that does is it aligns that back up and allows that stuff to drain where it's not been able to before. The next thing on this list is rashes. So rashes can be kind of tricky because if you don't know what the source is from, then you may just still be dealing with it because you are giving your child, or your child is coming in contact with a certain thing that's causing the rash. So finding the root cause is very important. It may be a food that they are eating. It could be a lotion or detergent that you are using. Just because it's natural doesn't mean that your child can take it on very well. I would definitely kind of start like an elimination thing. When did it start, and how long has it been going on, and just try to come up with ideas of why the rash may have happened. Big key things that may be in their food are gluten, processed dairy, which is pasteurized dairy, and dyes. So if they have dyes in their food, especially red 40, I think is the number, trying to stay clear of that. We stay clear of that anyways. Those things can be causing a rash on your child. After you find the root cause, or maybe in the meantime for kind of healing that, we use a balm from Lemongrass Spa called Healing Elements Balm. And this is all natural, but it does have zinc oxide in it, which is really good for diaper rashes and things like that, but also for body rashes, bruises, scars, and many other things that you may have on the skin. So we do use that. We keep that in stock here at the house, and we just put that on our children whenever they have a cut, scrape, or if they have a rash for some reason. So to keep your child healthy and for them to have a well-rounded immune system that is strong and able to fight off the things that they come in contact with, here are some key principles to follow, and this can help you as well as an adult. So eating a whole foods diet, minimal processed food, cooking at home or having somebody cook for you, whether that's a meal service. Your meats should be pasture raised or wild caught. Eating organic veggies as much as possible, especially the dirty dozen. So we may not get everything right with organic, but we try to. And the Dirty Dozen, you can look that up on Google, is the top 12 sprayed pesticides, insecticides, things like that onto your foods, which can cause all kinds of health issues. We stay clear of those if they're not organic. Minimal sugar. Sugar just creates inflammation. If it's not natural sugar, I would stay clear of it for the most part. And if you can, do organic sugar if you are using sugar in anything, because that is one of the most sprayed crops as well. Making sure your kids get a good quality sleep. So no screens an hour before bed, having a good bedtime routine, turning out the lights at night, making sure their room is cool. Sleep is where the body heals and does the most of its immune system building, so you definitely want to make sure that your children are getting good sleep. And last but not least is making sure that they have time outside daily. If you can get them to take their shoes off, which most kids is not a problem, getting outside with their shoes off and grounding or playing in the dirt is going to be great for their bodies. Also, having sun exposure is going to allow them to get some good vitamin D, and this is sun exposure without sunscreen. Sunscreen blocks vitamin D, so you want to make sure that they are getting out without some sunscreen. First thing in the morning or in the afternoon, where it's not, where they're less likely to burn, is a good time to do that. So I hope that these natural medicines were helpful for you in treating your children. Again, I am not a medical doctor, so hopefully this works for you, but if it doesn't, please seek out help from your doctor. We recommend naturopathic doctors as much as possible, or integrative doctors, just because they know a little bit more about the natural side of things and are able to help steer you in the right direction. And if for some reason you have to go on antibiotics or do some of the more modern medicines, don't freak out. Just try to continue with the healthy living and supplement with whatever that medicine or that antibiotic may deplete, so that your body can, or their body can, heal itself. If you have any more suggestions on things that have helped you or your children, please leave them in the comment section below for others to read. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if this was helpful for you. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.